Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. As we continue our reflections on the theme of prejudice, let us explore how awareness transforms our relationship with differences. Often, prejudice hides in subtle ways, in our language, in our assumptions, in the invisible lines we draw between us and them. These lines may seem harmless, but they quietly restrict the flow of love and understanding. The moment we identify with the position of superiority, belief, or identity, we begin to separate ourselves from the wholeness of life. In the Heartfulness Way, spiritual evolution is a movement from fragmentation to wholeness. Through meditation and cleaning, we learn to dissolve the barriers that the ego creates. Every time we sit in silence, we experience how the heart expands, not only in love, but also in perspective. We begin to perceive that behind every face, every difference, there lies the same essence, the same light, expressing itself uniquely. Daji reminds us that the true sign of inner refinement is inclusiveness. The more refined the heart, the less it reacts to differences. Instead of judging, it understands, and instead of separating, it connects. When prejudice dissolves, what remains is simplicity, a heart that sees truth in all and all in truth. Moving ahead in the session, let us open the door for others to experience this practice. You are requested to invite your friends and family and your near and dear ones to explore heartfulness by attending the master classes and attending the BHED sessions, which are happening morning and evening for most of the week. Our inspirational reading, we'll reach to that, but before that, just a reminder that there is a lot of additional reading material and videos of Revert Daji, which can be accessed via Heartfulness app under the Sunday tab dated 26th October. You're encouraged to explore this additional reading material and videos which are available on the theme of prejudice. And we are resuming our inspirational reading, and this is from the article by beloved Daji titled Antidotes to Prejudice. Let us open our hearts to this inspirational reading, and as you read or listen, allow the insights to echo within your heart. There is no race against others on this journey. The journey is infinite. We are racing only against ourselves. We would like to do better than yesterday, and we can humbly submit. I need to change. Guide me in some way. In which direction must I go? Where must I correct myself? Every one of us knows only too well our weaknesses, but out of habit, we look at the weaknesses of others. Instead of looking at our own baggage, we keep looking at the baggage of others, and in the process, we miss out. Prejudice always arises out of setting aside proven or observed facts, despite oft repeated experiences. This fatal attitude is displayed in order to preserve self respect or honor, and its origin is in the mind. It is purely ego based. And what about the desires that drive us to make certain decisions? Despite the clear and overwhelming facts, desires unfulfilled lead to restlessness and inner turbulence. At times, they provoke anger if things are not done as per our whims. Anger promotes fear, and fear won't let us exercise discrimination. In a state of fear, it is very difficult to discriminate right from wrong. This is a result of desires from the heart. Ego based superiority takes its toll on our ability to discriminate because we have already made up our minds that I am superior and ipso facto that all others are inferior. Whereas the most beautiful weapon is to always think that the other person is greater, no matter how great we may be. Ego based prejudice is removed by this one simple prescription. By and large, there are only two types of prejudice: positive and negative. What happens when we put Mr. X on a pedestal? He's such a good person. He can do no wrong. That is a positive form of prejudice. You have ennobled a person without any basis. Then there is a scenario where a negative form of prejudice prevails. A person may be so good, but you have already decided that she is useless. What is the opposite of prejudice? Let us focus on the ability to judge without any bias or any preconceptions. This is where the importance of discrimination comes in, Viveka, which is the first step in yoga. If we cannot discriminate, we will remain prejudiced all our lives. So we have to cultivate that gem, that value in our psyche, and it demands a sufficient level of openness of heart and conviction. When do we stop judging? Ask a mother, will she judge her child? The trick is hidden in the affectionate arms of a mother's hug. It is only to love. And then having the courage to follow our own convictions. It is simple to talk like this, but when we are actually facing real life situations, often our courage fails. Openness arises out of conviction. In turn, conviction has its origin in positive discrimination, and that too has its origin in a pure heart. If we reverse this process, it is the same heart that can become a fertile ground for prejudice. Fear plays its role, especially when it comes to discrimination. Who can discriminate when they are fearful? Open mindedness promotes free thinking, whereas dogmatism or prejudice cannot. What is open mindedness? In the beginning of To Kill a Mockingbird, the three children were so happy, conveying the message that prejudice is dissolved when you become childlike. Those children lost their innocence when they were exposed to racism. Until then, they were blissfully enjoying life. So, the exact opposite of prejudice is a childlike attitude of freshness towards all the approaches in life, a positive attitude, open mindedness. Children have no prejudice. They are simple and pure in mind and heart. They receive any and every impression, whether good or bad, from the world outside. It is only when they grow older that they sort these impressions and try to retain only the pleasurable or good ones. At such a time, prejudice sets in and open mindedness bids farewell. If somehow we are able to retain the former attitude of wonder throughout life, we may be called open minded. Humility and purity are the keys. Purity brings about openness of heart. Openness creates free interaction with all. Without purity, there is no unity. And without unity, there will always be prejudice. Dear sisters and brothers, we will take a pause now from the reading and let us come together and with heart full of love offer the universal prayer. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है. May this universal prayer awaken in every heart the spirit of unity and understanding. May all barriers of opinion and difference dissolve in divine remembrance. And may we live as one humanity, diverse in expression, yet united in a sense, guided always by love. Dear sisters and brothers, as you prepare for the rest tonight, pause for a few moments of stillness. Reflect gently on the day. Were there moments when comparison, resistance, or subtle bias appeared? Did you sense situations where understanding could have replaced reaction? Offer these impressions to the Master with sincerity. Allow His grace to clean what awareness reveals. Let gratitude fill the space where judgment was once. As you offer your bedtime prayer, rest in the knowing that every act of sincere reflection purifies the heart and brings you closer to the oneness. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining the evening session, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the morning session at 6 a.m. Until then, may peace, remembrance, and the silent presence of beloved Master be with you through the night. Wishing you all a very good night.